Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Kenya Revolutionary. Nice seeing you, nice seeing you. It's been a minute, few days. I've been down with a cough and flu, the cold, common cold as it's known. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Karibuni. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, karibuni. Please take a minute if you're getting a notification. If this is your first time here, please, we talk about Kenya politics here, or should I say politics. Then we analyze and we give our views. That's what we do here. If it's your first time, so go ahead and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. If you've already subscribed and you're just getting this notification on the first order of business, you know what it is. Pow. Just hit that like button. Like the video. I don't know where to start. I didn't plan this. I just had to come here and speak to you wonderful people about what's been going on in Kenyan politics. As you know, there's a bunch of stuff that's happening. I do not know where to start. I'll just go through the rundown. Like I say, I'm freestyling. So if I'm all over the place, please bear with me. I never plan these things. I come here and talk about whatever. Now, the biggest news of the week is when the current president of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, paid a visit to the ex-president, the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, in Ishaweri. If for those of you who don't know, Ishaweri is where the former president, I don't call him president because he never won an election, but anyway, Uhuru Kenyatta resides. So their meeting was dubbed as a handshake, and everyone was like, hey, what's going on up here? We don't know what's going on. Did these two players, did they play us and tricked Raila and they knew what we were doing? I mean, there's so much going on about this. We are going to touch on that. Also, Mike Sonko's case. Remember when he had a graft case and it was, he was let go? Well, they are rescinding that judgment. They're saying, hey, the magistrate at that court, didn't made an erroneous judgment. So he's still in deep. I won't cast today. I'll try not to. What else? The killer for the policeman that allegedly shot that young man during Mandamano, I forgot his name, Rex, yes, was in trial today. That's also there. People are calling for Martha Koome, the Chief Justice, to step down, resign. She seems to be incompetent or, all of the above. She's just, but she came out and spoke and said that is cyberbullying. She's not stepping down. She's lot of stuff to cover. Let's just start with this Ishaweri stuff, Ishaweri meeting, because everyone now is talking about, hey, this meeting, what does it mean? Uhuru is back again. He's cool with his nemesis, so-called. Let me just hold my judgment for later. Let me just play this clip so we can just familiarize with ourselves with the news of the day. Let's go. Are you ready? Let's hear from the news. Then I'll give my view of what I think is behind this whole meeting, because some people are saying, oh, Ruto went there to find help from Uhuru because Mlima imemwacha. Let's see. Maybe not. Let's see. Okay. Let's get to the news. Ndio hii. Oh, no.
Him to extend an olive branch to former President Uhuru Kenyatta, stating that it is about finding common ground and working together as a matter of national interest. The president, who spoke during the Pastoralists Leadership Summit in Wajir County, said he had reached out to former Prime Minister Raila Odinga for the same reason. Melita Oletengis reports.
In Wajir County, where he attended the Pastoralist Leadership Summit, President William Ruto spoke to events on Monday. A meeting between him and his predecessor at the center of his brief but loaded remarks on the matter. The president saying it was in the national interest to work together.
I've reached out to the former president. It is the reason why I will reach out to all other leaders so that we can fashion a country that all of us believe in, a country that we can all have a stake in.
President Ruto addressing himself to the strained relationship he had with his former boss that led to his sidelining and Uhuru Kenyatta's endorsement to succeed him, despite an earlier pledge to his deputy that he would back him as a successor. Ruto keen to put all that in the past.
We must continuously build bridges instead of erecting barriers. We must always find it to create more synergy as we move forward.
The Jubilee Party, which the president leads and which has been embroiled in a bitter leadership tussle, saying it remained in the opposition. This faction, led by Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, which remained loyal to Kenyatta, even as the other Kanini Kega-led faction sought to join the Kenya Kwanza gravy train, despite having been in Azimio, which was an opposition coalition.
So we are not talking to you to come into government. We are talking to you because it is necessary for all of us as Kenyans to talk to one another for the benefit of all Kenyans. When you come and visit me, then it is actually me who tell the neighbors who had visited and what was a neighbor looking for. Ni njaa, ni kiu, ama ni giza imekuwa zaidi.
Senior economic advisor to the president, Moses Kuria, on Tuesday applauded the move by the two leaders while calling for a return of the Building Bridges initiative. In a statement, Kuria said, "I urge President William Ruto, former President Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to close ranks and lead the nation in picking up where BBI flopped and give this country a constitution that speaks to the emerging realities of our nation and society." He went ahead to say, "It was a mistake to leave the Jubilee Party. However, it is not too late. We will now embark on bringing all the political parties with a footing in the region together under the Jubilee Party. Jubilee, with former President Kenyatta as the party leader, is the way to go." The president's remarks are a far cry from the reality of their relationship in the recent past. Both had disagreed frequently, openly and vehemently in public, each giving as good as he got.
Kunithreaten mimi, ati utanifanya nini? Bora usiue watoto wangu, lakini mimi na wewe tafadhali tuheshimiane.
And if they are planning something, my only plea, don't plan against my mother, don't plan against my children, plan for me. If it is me you want, leave them alone. What do they have to do with anything?
The latest attempt at mending the frayed ties causing a stir in the political arena, much to the surprise of Kenyans. Melita Oletenges, Citizen TV.
All right. Very briefly, I don't know. Let me just say this real quick. To me, just to echo what Babu Owino once said, this is a long con game. This whole route, I've been saying this, I've been asking this question, I've been asking the audience that have been here. Hi, Gypsy Corner, nice seeing you. I've been saying this. This is a whole huge game. Again, there's a clip that I want you to find for those of you who dig in or deep on this video clips, on this internet sphere, virtual sphere. Go find it. There's a clip of Uhuru Kenyatta was giving a speech addressing a public somewhere. He was inebriated, of course, and he said it. Kumi yangu, kumi ya Ruto, alafu kumi ya Gacha. Then he stopped himself, basically giving out the map, the roadmap to how they are going to rule. Of course, you can discount it as just, an empty political promise or talk, or maybe he was drunk, so he was saying what he was saying. But I think the whole thing has been planned. The plan was hatched out long time ago. They are just living the script that have been written. Now, let me start by saying this. You have to ask yourself, number one, why did these two fall out? Why did these two fall out? Why did they walikosana? There's no apparent reason. It's just the same thing with Ruto and Gachagua. Why did they fall out? It's not clear. Or they're claiming, he kept on being talking about Mlima. Is that a reason to to impeach someone just because he talks about the section of the country that he hails from? What was it that made Ruto and Kenyatta start beefing, so-called beef? To me, it was a manufactured beef. We just heard from we started hearing from the media, oh, the president is being ostracized, oh, the president is not getting along with Ruto, his deputy at the time. And before you know it, they just started living up this stuff. And you can see even their speeches. Ruto is saying, wait, leave my kids alone, come for me. And Uhuru is saying the same thing. Don't go after my mom, don't go after my kids, deal with me. They are reading from the same script. Like I said, this is all. But here's another one. Raila Odinga is also being used. Okay, he's part of this game. He's being used as part of this plan to fool Kenyans. Now, here's my prediction. If you want my prediction, let me just give you my prediction, my quick prediction. Raila Odinga will not succeed in his AU quest, okay? He won't succeed. He will not win it. Let me just say it right now. Raila Odinga is planning on coming back. He's planning on making a huge comeback as the official opposition. He's about to kick out, push aside the Gen Z. I know. He's about to do that, render them useless or whatever the case is, and reclaim his spot as the official opposition. Remember, that is Raila's role in Kenyan politics. He is being used. That is his role by the colonial purpose. I told you, all of these nitwits are in the same WhatsApp group. Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, William Samoei Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, Kioni and all their minions, Mudavadi, Musalia, these are the same. It's a club that they're in. Okay? But they always have to play these games of, I'm in the government this time, you're in the opposition. I'm in the opposition, you're in the government. Okay? Because after every elections, they come together. And, oh, my brother, not caring to address the fights, the blood, the injuries, the deaths, the destruction, the economic damage that has been caused during the clashes between their so-called supporters. Okay? We are being played. So again, write it down. I'm not Professor Ward, but I'll tell you this for free. Raila Odinga will not succeed in his AUC quest, okay? He will come back. We shall find out on February. He has a whatever on, when is it? Friday, he has a debate. You'll see how unserious he is. But anyway, he will come back and they will conjure up this plan to again position him as the opposition. And you'll see there'll be a barrage, a very aggressive campaign to reassert Raila Odinga in gullible Kenyan psyche as Baba, reclaiming his official opposition position. And he will start pretending that he's speaking against the government's mess-ups. Karibu sana, Green Black Sneakers. Nice seeing you. This is what is happening. They're preparing you. Remember, the game has to be rigged. The game is rigged against the Kenyan population. The players that are pretending to be candidates are actually not genuine candidates. They're all cut from the same cloth. But they have to play. That's why this whole, if you realize now, everyone is super, uber, tribalistic in the analysis of politics. Everything is political now. watu wa Mulima, watu wa Rift Valley, watu wa Lake, everything is now tribalistic, tribalists. We are back in our tribal cocoons. That is what they want you to do because they are making space, creating an environment, charging it up, knowing that 2027 is coming. And they have to create alliances. All this, I don't know, Okiom Tata, what's that kid, Kebaso, and all these idiots that are pretending that they're going to be candidates, they're going to fall align with the political class. They're going to eventually be absorbed by this political class. They will either fall under Uhuru Ruto coalition or they'll fall under Raila, the fake opposition coalition. And we shall head to another 2027 divided along tribal lines. That is what is coming, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades. You have to listen to these people. Now, why should Ruto go meet Uhuru and tell us that we want to unite Sijui regions? Who gives a dang? Who said that the regions, last time I checked, the people of Mount Kenya and the people of Nyanza and the people of Mountain and the people of Rift Valley and the people of Coast and the people of all over Kenya are just getting along fine. I haven't heard of any skirmishes, quarrels. It is when the politicians make it an issue. Oh, nyinyi watu wa Mulima, ni wakati wetu wa sisi pia tukule. Oh, nyinyi watu wasijui Nyanza, nyinyi ni Masaiko fans, mnapenda Raila. Oh, nyinyi watu wasijui Kalenjins, nyinyi ndio mko kwa ninio saizi, mnapora mali. You see what I'm saying? It is done deliberately. Kenyans are getting along just fine. But the politicians have to divide you because that's how they survive. So watch out. Write down the prophecy again. Raila Odinga will come back after February. Because remember, he made a statement that he might even drop out from this AUC race. Hinting that that's a possibility. The man is a welder. He doesn't have a college degree. Nothing wrong with that, but that is part of the qualification of becoming an AUC chairperson. We are going to watch how robotic he is in the debate on Friday to see his intellectual aptitude. Is it there? Can he go shoulder to shoulder, beggar qua beggar, with a candidate from Eritrea, intellectually speaking, debating on issues? Can someone please reach out to the Eritrean candidate for the AUC? Tell him Kenyans have some dirt that can help him in the debate. We have some things that we would like him to ask the conman. Like, hey, conman, Raila Odinga, you held your own country hostage when you say that you respected the institutions of Kenya, arms of government, the rule of law. But when the Supreme Court judge made a ruling and say that your case was hot air, 5 months later, you among your thuggish cows rallied around, galloping, marauding in every city in Kenya, burning things, throwing stones at the police, brutalizing citizens, forcing Kenyans to accept you. You did not respect the rule of law. Mr. Candidates of Eritrea, please ask for a man like that. Do you think he's fit to represent Kenya? And before you ask him that, please ask him another question. Ask him this. Mr. Conman Raila Odinga, the grand welder from Opoda, can you please show us your degree that you got from Germany, East Germany? Can you provide your academic credentials? We want to see it. Because in Kenya, they have been complaining that they haven't seen it for years. Please show us, Mr. Conman. Because for that position, you have to at least have a master's degree, postgraduate degree. This is the game. So what's happening is this. This man, he will come back after failing that AUC and he will say, oh, nilichezwa, Ruto played me. He tricked me into this AUC seat. Oh, then they'll conjure up this fake beef between them, between Ruto and Raila. And of course, the gullible cows, Raila, the ODM faithful, the Kenyan ODM terrorist organization shall start causing chaos, shedding blood in every main city of Kenya, claiming that they have been played. And they will demand that the constitution is either to be changed. They'll demand that the BBI and NADCO be implemented so that Raila Odinga can get the seat of the prime minister, since he cannot make it as the AUC chairperson. Watch very carefully, my dear brothers and sisters. This is what is about to happen. Why do you think these two criminals, non-killers, ICC candidates, war criminals, are meeting up, cheesing it up, shaking hands, giggling, laughing at Ishaweri? Why? The two most murderous leaders in the history of Kenya. The two who have brought down the Kenyan economy. I heard one of the guys say yesterday that, oh, Uhuru left this country in a better hand, in a better economic state. I beg to differ. Yes, Ruto took it up another notch. But they both dragged down this country to the trenches. Ruto is a liar, a murderous liar who cares not about the Kenyan constitution. Same with Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru didn't lie. He just told you he didn't he told you in your face that he didn't give a fuck about Kenyans. He was the son of Jomo. He had a lot of money. He didn't give a shit. He told you that. And he killed people. Just like Ruto had killed people. I see these dimwits from ODM who were praising Uhuru Kenyatta during the electioneering period, saying, oh, Uhuru is nice, Uhuru is nice. While in 2017, we remember the bodies that were dumped in River Yala. Remember the people who were killed in Kodele. We remember that. Then again, come 2022, Ruto unleashes the very police to kill people in Nyanza. In Nyalenda, we saw the brutal killing of Luos. But oh, now, Ruto is a good man. Ruto ni mweupe kama pamba, because that conman from Opoda has joined hands with this murderous dictator. That means and shows that you lack principle. You're not principled. These two have killed your own people, and you're still joking their balls. We are not going to sugarcoat anything. Ruto, Kalonzo, Raila, Uhuru, Martha Karua, who's trying so hard to become a Ugandan, should all be hanged at Uhuru Park. Death by hanging. Public hanging. Guillotine. Put them to permanent sleep. Send them to Zion. If we are going to stand for right, we have to stand for right. If you're going to stand for wrong, then be that. If you want to be compromised, you might as well join Ruto's government. Wrong is wrong, right is right. How can we divorce ourselves from these games? Look at the political temperatures. Look at the political discussions. It only evolves around these criminals. And it's laced heavily with tribalism. Oh, Uhuru is the king of Mlima. Oh, Gachagua is the king of Mlima. Oh, Kalonzo is the king of Sijui Nani, Ukambani. Oh, Raila is the king of Nyanza. Even the people of Nyanza hate Raila Odinga. Even the people of Central do not approve of Uhuru Kenyatta. Yes, there are some people who like him, but they don't like his politics. They don't see him as someone who will lead them anywhere. And they're well aware of the crimes that he has committed. And yes, they are from the Central or Mount Kenya region. They might not be the majority of the voices. Of course, the voices that you hear in the mainstream media are the people who are sucking up to the agenda of the day, which is push tribalism to the forefront, making these criminals the tribal chieftains. I saw the wonderful young and old and middle-aged women who were brave enough to go there campaigning, protesting against femicide. I applaud them. We saw how they were met with brutal force, tear gas, and so forth. And one of the young men from the Hanifa crew, I forgot his name, the one with the dreads, he commented. And I told him, kudos for going out there. But when are we going to protest with the hashtag Occupy State House and stay there till actually Ruto leaves? Because Ruto is a coward. He's a freaking coward. If women are going to CBD Nairobi, na inakutetesha na wanatuma mapolisi wa wachape na ninio, you're a coward. Ruto is a coward. But again, Ruto wants this. He's baying for your blood, pushing the envelope, trying to get Kenyans as outraged as he can possibly can. Look at what Mbadi said today that made my skin almost crawl out of my body. Mbadi, the former ODM terrorist member of this terrorist group, ODM, Mbadi said something that I actually didn't find funny. Not funny at all. Let me show you what Mbadi said. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters? I will let you read it for yourself so you don't say that I made this up. I want you to read it for yourself. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't. I had to stop and rush to the refrigerator and look for a cold drink to calm me down, because Mbadi cannot be possibly sober while he made these pronouncements. But here's the news clip. It's not a news clip, but it's a news issue from the Standard Digital. If you can see your screen, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades, here is Mbadi telling us. Let me read it for you. I'll read it very slowly so you can get it. National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has directed the formation of a team of experts to explore the possibility of government using pension funds to invest in capital-intensive infrastructure projects. I don't think you got me right. Atticus, I see you. KK, I see you. Your pension funds, listen to me. Shaba. Let me just repeat it. Let me just say this one more time. The National Treasury Cabinet Secretary, John Mbadi, has directed the formation of a team of experts. Hold on, wait a minute. There's a problem there. Raila Odinga, in his Solomonic wisdom, told us that he sent some experts to go help Ruto. So again, these experts need some experts. But anyway, let's continue. Direct the formation of a team of experts to explore the possibility of government using pension funds. Thank you. I'll highlight that. Pension funds. Ile pesa umefanyia kazi that you hope that when you retire, you shall get it. It might not be there because Mbadi wants to use it to build roads. Because Murkomen could not be. Hold on, first of all, Goja. Time out. I thought the law says that we can only borrow for development. The money that we borrow, the trillions that we borrow from IMF and other countries and all these other foreign banks. I thought the law says any loan that the state gets, even if it's borrowing from within, by law, it should only be for development. And we have trillions that have been Why didn't they use those trillions to build this infrastructure that Mbadi wants to make us believe? They're pension funds yetu ndio wanataka waanze na. What is going on? Do you understand the implication of what this man is saying? Do you understand? Do you understand the implications here? Your retirement savings, hiyo pesa wanataka kuchukua waitumie. I'll tell you how they'll use it. They will eat it. Hakuna infrastructure ingine itapelekwa mahali. They will eat that money. I'll tell you right now. Kwa nini nafikiri hizo pesa Murkomen was telling us we need 900 million to repair highway hapo. Ilitengenezwa? Yes, niko na pension labani. I have it. If you're asking. Tell them. This is not a game. Ng'ombe wanataka kupiga shindani, pension yako wanataka kukula. Na Alfred Mutua anawatuma Saudi Arabia. Go look at what happens in Saudi Arabia. Kazi hakuna hapa. You remember that famous line by Murkomen? Kazi hakuna hapa. Saudi Arabia iko kazi. Go find out what's going on in what happens to our men and women in Saudi Arabia. Go find out. I will not discuss it here today. You find out by yourself. Do your homework. And I can find out. Mutua, he was bragging. He has sent the first batch of 2,000 young men. Slave driver. Mutua na watuambia. Hii ndio Kenya mko. Lakini maandamano mkienda, tunaenda maandamano gani? Anyway, let me not belittle anybody's maandamano because I'm just saying, do you still want to wait till 2027 for Ruto? IBC hakuna, hata European Union came and spoke about the IBC, the importance of IBC. But even so, IBC hata wakiiweka saizi, unafikiri hiyo IBC itakuwa hai? Na mnataka kungoja mpaka 2027. Ati ndio tutaenda kwa IBC tukue na uchaguzi. Uchaguzi gani? Uchaguzi gani? Wewe. Pension inataka kuchukua. Watachukua. They don't care about what judges say. Last time I was speaking we were having a discussion here, a very good discussion with Wangera. And you had the High Court judge, alisema hiyo mambo ya NADCO is not anchored in law. But they still proceeded and took it to the parliament and they started implementing NADCO. And NADCO is still being implemented. Illegally. Ndio unaona Raila anapeleka tumbo yake ya AU. Amepewa 10 billion. Na pension sasa unataka kuchukua pension yako. Which means you'll work. Ukienda kuuliza ile msara ninio pension yako namna gani? Imeenda. Tuliitumia kujenga magari. Kujenga barabara and bridges. Na hakuna barabara na hakuna bridges. Lakini utaona Marco amenunua shati ya milioni 6. Oscar Sudi yako na belt ya milioni 10. Ridiculousness. Joho na viatu vya 6,000. Sijui 1,300. Outrageous things happening. Na bado tu ni maandamano. They're lulling you with nonsense about Murima, sijui watu wa Nyanza, Rift Valley, Gachagua, Ishaweri, AU, give me time, You are being distracted by tribal nonsense. Na pension itaenda of everyone. Kwa sababu hiyo pension ikienda haiendi ati hata sema ati pension ya Wakikuyu ndio itaenda, ati pension ya Wajaluo ndio itaenda, ati pension every Mkenya ambaye ako na pension. Hiyo wanaenda kuikula. So you are in debt, national debt iko hapo. To a point where pension zenu hata hamna is not guaranteed. You work for 40 years, 50 years, or whatever the case is, you have nothing to show for. The country is in debt. Na ukitaka kazi unaambiwa enda Saudi Arabia or Qatar. This is what is happening. I'll put the link in a minute. You know, I'm happy that it's taking us, we can see that Kenyans wanaelewa kwamba the problem is not our difference in the language we speak. The problem is not necessarily our tribes. We were here before. The Kenya was a republic. We were here before the British. We were here. That's why you saw even in Eldoret, Murkomen could not even speak. Murkomen hawezi kuongea because even the young folks, the challenging young men can see you puzieno. Let me ask you something, you guys. Let me ask you a question. Haven't you noticed that the government officials, either the newcomers wakina Wandai and Murkomen, and even the president, they are saying that all of them are speaking in one. And guess what they are saying? Anyone who is criticizing the government is a tribalist. Wandai tried to say that when he was in somewhere in Nyanza this past few days. Ati sijui, oh, they are not happy with us. Now the government is the problem because Wajaluo wako kwa ninio. Basically insinuating that the people who criticize the government are don't criticizing so because the Luos now are in government. They are tribalist. Murkomen a few days later said the same thing. Ati anyone ati Wakalenjin sijui nini, they are likening them to Moi. Ati the people who are criticizing the government are tribalist. It seems to be a theme. That is the memo. Waliamka wakasema mtu yoyote anafanya hivi, let's dub them the tribalists. As tribalists. Haven't you noticed? Let me drop the link. Let me drop the link. Wacha niwadrop your link basi. If my computer will let me do that. Kwa sababu hata nimevamiwa, hata nimechoka na kuvamiwa. Link ndio hiyo vijana, ladies and gentlemen. Haven't you noticed these things? The memo is, tribalism. Tribalists. This, tribal this. Watu mlima wamekasirika, Wajaluo wameingia serikali, Wakalenjin, a bunch of nonsense. Karibu Mr. Wangira, please start whatever you want to address. I don't have a topic per se, but speak your mind. Karibu, nice seeing you.
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I am fine. You know,
glad to hear from you.
Today we are supposed to be celebrating 60 years of our Jamhuri. Jamhuri means the day Kenya became a republic. But you know, the question that I want to throw around is, are we really a republic? Are we really a republic? What are we celebrating, surely? Are we really a republic? Because the way things, are going on in this country, they don't portray that republic thing. I've heard you, bring up this talk that the talk that is going on in this country, where other people are portraying others as tribalists. And I've always argued that, I don't believe that, the problem that we are facing as a country is, tribalism per se. I believe that, tribalism in this country is a gimmick that is being, used by, the powers that are, for purposes of, dividing and ruling us. Because generally, ordinary Kenyans are not tribalists, what do you become a tribalist to achieve when you are an ordinary person who cannot even, put a meal on the table. If you're living under $2 a day, how can you even think about tribalism? If you cannot afford health care, if in January you are not sure whether your kid will go to school, how will you think about tribalism? Those people, the only people who think about tribalism are those guys, I say, the guys that are on the table. And, this is a card that, that is just being brought around, for purposes of, controlling, power, controlling power. Controlling power. We are not tribal as such. In fact, in this country, we are not tribal. That tribal element, does not reflect that much. And that's why, you can meet a Kenyan in, the end corner of Mount Kenya, and you can still meet, a Kikuyu in Budalangi, where I was born, and they are living comfortably, and they don't find themselves to be second class in any form. So this issue of tribalism, and today there is a political card, a political tribal card that is being thrown around to isolate a section of the country, for purposes of political consolidation. If you watch, because if a community voted a man who was not of their own tribe by 3.9 million, if 3.9 million voters decided to vote for a person who was not a member of their community, then how can they become tribal 2 years later? How do you portray them tribal 2 years later when they voted for you with 3.9 million voters? Then how do they become tribal? Because there was a member of their community who was running, for elections in 2022, but they never voted for that particular person, and they chose to vote for you. Then why are you trying to throw around that tribal card to portray them as being tribal? Just because they have disagreed with you ideologically. Because the issue in this country has all along been, ideological.
I can answer that question for you, brother. Amosi, by the way, Wangira. Amosi.
Wangira is Muno Muno.
Kenyan Rebels, Amosi. Melchizedek Amosi. Everybody, I say hello.
Hello.
Okay, Rokamano.
Yeah, Rokamano. Awinji Baba.
What is
All
going
I'm
on
saying
over
is
here?
this, my fellow Kenyans. It's very easy. They're doing this because they know there's an audience for it. Do you understand? They wouldn't have used this if there weren't people that they knew this would work on. But here's the thing. I'm very glad that the demographics of Kenya are what they are. I'm 38 right now. I turned 38 this month. Well, not this month, November. But I'm very glad that these young people don't think like a lot of us older people do. So this message doesn't work on them. It works on older people, some older people, not all of us. Because look, Wangira is here, Kenya Rebel is here, I'm here, Melchizedek is here. We are 30 plus, 40 plus. And we can see through it. So we know it doesn't work on everybody, but they're talking to a particular audience. This is why they're doing this. This is the game plan. Split the vote. Fragment it as far as possible. They know they're faced with a huge backlash based off the missteps they've made. So they're trying this. Talk about Matiang'i running so he can hive off some of the Kisii vote. Raila is there to hive off some of the so-called Nyanza vote. Bring somebody up in where's Kindiki from? Is it Embu or Meru?
I don't know.
Embu.
Is he Embu or Meru? I don't know. Somewhere
there. Fragment that vote. You understand? Put somebody else there in Mount Kenya West. Fragment that vote. Put some people in Nairobi. Fragment it. Coast, same way. Northeast. And then, how did Moi used to win? With 30% or something like this. 30-something. You're dealing with a student of Nyayo. You can't forget this. This is how Ruto operates. He can't do anything different. Alinyonya kwa matiti ya Moi. Huyu ni mtoto wa Moi for all intensive purposes, not genetically, but in terms of political upbringing. Fragment the vote and then influence this thing called the IEBC. People, hii kitu inaitwa IEBC ndo, this is where he's going to play his biggest card. Sahi ni mchezo tu. You even see right now he's insulting people, his ministers, whatever, they're doing what they're doing. They don't care. They know what, one or two things. They're not coming back or they're rigging themselves back in.
Atticus, he had the audacity to say that anyone that opposes the Shindano, I don't want to say the name because of YouTube are very sensitive.
Chanjo.
Yeah, of the cows is stupid.
Of course,
how dare this person say something like that to Kenyans?
No. Don't you understand? How Watu have always had madharau towards you. You don't understand this? This is a shock to you people.
And I don't see anyone on the streets claiming it. You don't have to be a scientist to know this is going on in other countries where Bill Gates cannot even address anyone in public because of that nonsense. And in Kenya, your president tells you that if you don't accept it, if you are opposing it, he is even say you're stupid.
Yes, but I'm sorry to, you know what? I'm not sorry. Let it offend who it offends. But I'm asking you, Kenya Rebel, haven't people shown you that they're stupid in Kenya? Quote unquote. Look at the decisions people have made in the past.
As far as what? Voting?
For example, be it on the local level, up all the way up to national. People have been voting based on nonsense. Someone can come, oh, just give us 6 piece so that we can do what it is you want us to do. If you look at that concept critically, how is giving someone absolute power a guarantee that they're going to be beneficent? So you live in the West, Bwana. You were born in Kenya like me. I live in the West, you live in the West. But think about it. How is it giving someone absolute power going to help you?
But you know what? I always say this.
Do it.
Atticus, I usually say this. And maybe most of you might disagree with me, that's fine. I don't believe, listen, the only person who has won election fair and square was Kibaki in 2002.
Undeniable.
Yes. After that, there's no sitting president we can say that won the presidency. So when people say that we Kenyans, we choose the wrong leaders because we are stupid, I disagree. I disagree totally.
Right. No, let me prove me right.
Okay, prove you right. Then we'll move to Melchi because I know he's there. And
I'll use Raila as an example. No, not even Raila is a really example, but they all do it. As long as you support him and you're part of his party, you are the one that gets the ticket. People like it or not, delegates like it or not. How did that guy from Game, the former MP, the late, because you know my people are from Game, by the way. I should know his name. But then again, he's a nobody. So
Otieno something. Otieno
no,
something.
he bald head. He used to be telling jokes all the time.
Yeah, what's his name? Mapambano. Is that
not him?
Jacoyo Midio.
Wangira may know. Former MP Game. He died.
When did he die?
A while back.
Jacoyo Midio. Jacoyo Midio.
Yeah.
I thought he was cousins with Raila or something like that.
Exactly. A lot of people in Game didn't want him. We want, for example, regardless of the person's faults or whatever, people wanted Gumbo. At one point, the last election, 2017, people wanted Gumbo. But the other one got it. Midiwo got it because...
No, you are confusing. You are confusing issues here.
Sorry.
People wanted Gumbo for governor Siaya. You remember?
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
And
Yes.
it was, you remember, it was a hot battle between Gumbo and Raila's brother Oburu, if you remember.
Yes.
And eventually, ODM, decided to revenge by denying both of them, the ticket.
Oh, okay.
Did you see?
Hold on. We were last time we were here with Melchi. He gave us an inside look on what happens during the voting for this Ninio, and it's actually a matter of life and death. People are actually coerced into. Let him explain. He's here. He worked for Nani. What's it? Melchi, are you there? Please explain what happened when you were Kidero, between Kidero and that Homabay corrupt woman.
I'm here full and breathing and kicking, my friend.
Okay. Golgotha Namnagani, please explain to them the inner workings of how people were being threatened to vote for or against a particular Ninio in Homa Bay. That's what I'm telling you.
First of all, I used to say that when you are talking and you are not on the ground, you can say a lot. But when you are on the ground, you will understand what the language of the ground. Because people are just talking, but we have been a culprit in that the so-called this government. And we see the painful part of it where people are just grabbing the power by force because they have money, they have support, and they are very, very notorious. So once you say that Kenyans are stupid, we are not stupid. The only thing is those who we are selected are the stupid people because they are taking this power by force, by money, whether you like it or not. You can vote for the right person, but that right person will not get what? Your vote. The person that get your vote is someone that you did not vote for. Get this one very clearly.
So you're saying the elections are rigged?
Yes, in my opinion.
The election is
fair
being
enough.
rigged.
That's a different argument.
Every election is being rigged. I want to give you a good example. Between Kidero and the so-called Gladys Wanga. I was on the ground. I was there. And my brother also was there. Sorry to say this, but I have to tell you the truth about it. How things went when 2 days before election. 2 days before election. Things were turned like something that we have never seen in our entire life. Even those who are supporting Wanga, now they say, those who are supporting the so-called name who? This guy. Mwenye nimeita tu sahi. Gladys Wanga and Kidero.
Yeah.
They said now we are going to vote for Wanga because of what they have seen is taking place. Each and every constituency, they were giving good money. And those who are the so-called IEBC, they already selected their people. Even we have not voted, they are already selected. Wanga has won. Do you know how they did it? I will explain to you. They even took those who are dead long time ago and they are cast their vote. When you are thinking that these people, they are voting for 20 people, 320 people already devoted, you think you only 10. So this issue of voting in Kenya, this is the worst part of it. I was given a very good money, but that money I don't know even right now where it went, and I'm still don't even know, because things that are on the ground there in the siasa, musiseme tu kama ijakufikia, lakini ikikufikia, that's the day you realize that what I'm saying today is the real thing.
No,
Okay.
like, all I'm saying is this: you presented a different context to the conversation, which is fair enough. I'm not going to fight you on that, because I've said in the past, like, hakuna kura yenye kuwa verified Kenya ever. You understand? There's never been a verified election in Kenya. So I can accept how you've presented your argument. All I was saying is, if these elections are supposed to be credible, there's no other explanation other than stupid people voting in stupid people. But if what you're saying is accurate, that it is in fact rigged, then I would have to argue the only way out is to not participate in the system. A la what Jimmy Wanjigi is proposing, that if you are a taxpayer, don't pay your taxes to a corrupt government. I mean, there's things you as a consumer can't avoid, such as VAT. The shop that you buy the thing in is the one that files the tax return. But they've also been asked by, let's say, Jimmy Wanjigi's camp that, look,
And
you guys don't pay your taxes.
This is why I'm here. I wanted to explain something. Yes. Because we have already seen that the government is depending on three things.
Yes.
First is VAT. The second is what is called the tax. And the third is the goons that they have.
Violence, yes.
And these things are made them to be like no one can touch them, because we people, we are giving them money.
Yes.
At the same time, we are sponsor them, and we are doing what is called tunawapea nini? Tunawapea motisha ya kwamba sisi tuko na wewe.
So you sasa, we are validating their actions by participating.
Yeah.
Mafia style. Thank
you. When all these things are happening, we are giving them the room to do each and everything that they want. But when we started doing things like Mandamano and doing 1, 2, 3, some people are going back to get money from them because we call them stupid. Or I don't know how I can call them, because once even those who are going to take money from these people, they all suffer the way we are suffering. But
you're too kind, my brother. You're too kind.
They still don't understand that there is something that is hidden. After taking this 50 bob, is going to take even changa or whatever, within no minute, pesa imeisha, we are in the same platform.
But lakini, what you just said there, Melchizedek, isn't that stupidity? How do you go drink changa after going to violate your fellow countryman? That's stupidity in any sense of the word, any international standard, my brother. Come on, you're too kind.
Order. We have to remember that these people they live in abject poverty. Most of them are unemployed.
No excuse. Don't give me that stuff.
The youth who have nothing. So if
born in Kenya,
that's
my
why
mom and dad were not rich.
That's excuse. Hold on.
Wacha leo nikuwe mkali kidogo. Hapo tunakosana. Kwa sababu
moja kidogo. Sawa, tunaweza kukosana lakini wacha niweke
don't talk to me as if I was born rich. No. There's no excuses.
Sijasema hivyo. I'm not saying that.
Violate your fellow countryman. You need order.
Moja kidogo. Situwache nizungumze jamani.
Sawa.
Okay.
Tumekuwa
Nasema tu, all I'm saying is this. People, kama vile watu vile nani alienda Kondele. Huyu Ruto, okay? And everyone was like, why are people going there na huyu jamani alikuwa anatuma watu wanaua watu pale. And I don't know if you saw the video where Ojienda was dishing out cash before the event. And I was saying, we have thousands of youth who are jobless, okay? Idlers, okay? Unaenda kuhustle hapa na pale. If you have somebody like Ojienda offering you $200 200 shillings to go club for 2 hours while Ruto is denying his nonsense, that's a cheap hustle. I'll go and gladly do that quickly. So what I'm saying is this.
No, that's no pride. That's no dignity. This is why Africans were enslaved. No pride, no dignity. Other people refused and were never enslaved. The Indians were colonized. They were never enslaved because they never would have stooped this low.
Hold on.
Come on.
Okay. All right. Fair point. For a point.
Can I
quickly
talk?
Then we go to Kipril, then we go to Nani. Pia Nani.
Me and you are going to have this discussion, my brother. Oh, wow. We
Can I
have to
talk?
talk about this.
Aya, wachini ukali. Kwani mmekunywa changa leo ama mnipatie changa pia?
No, I'm just surprised Melchizedek could take this position.
No,
Okay.
can I talk?
I respect your position. All right. Melchizedek alafu Kipa endelea alafu Wangira. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me talk.
Talk.
You say that wakiawa unaitwanga aje Otieno wakiawa Otieno. I don't understand. I don't want to even know the name. I'm getting mad. Such kind of, you know.
Yinga Okono Otieno. What is wrong with this man? Yeah.
Okay. When someone has given you money, right? I know you uko na anga kwamba mimi nina njaa. Nimeambiwa ya kwamba bana, chukua hii shilingi 200 enda upige nduru pale. Si ndio? We are more than 200 people. Kwani akikupea pesa atakuvuta uende pale? This is where we go wrong.
I agree with you, my brother. I agree with that.
This is where we go wrong. That tunadanganyana hapa, tunasema ati tumepewa pesa, wacha tuende kupige kelele. Unaweza pewa pesa, mimi niende zangu, niwache kama bado anapeana watu wengine. Hakuna mtu atanikuja kunitafuta ati alinipea 200. There is no
I agree with you. I agree with you on that fact. Chukua pesa na uende kivyako, but don't go and harm your fellow citizens.
This is what we should do as youth, so that we can make this person to understand that we don't want him. But when you take the money and you go and make noise there, it means that you are still supporting the same thing.
I agree, but there's nothing we're arguing. I agree with you.
Good point.
Sorry, my mistake.
Sawa. Okay. Kip ako kwa ninio pia, tumkaribishe alafu tuende kwa Wangira. Kip, karibu.
Sema Kip. Eldoret native kama mimi. Ni aje?
Native.
Kip ametoka Kilgoris.
Oh, kumbe huyu ni Timbaroa man. Okay, sorry.
Nakudanganya, I'm just joking. Go ahead, Kip.
Mtu wa Hill School, ama? Sosiani.
I'm from Wasingishu. Live.
Ulienda Hill School ama Sosiani?
No. I was in Nairobi. I grew up in Nairobi, but I moved back home.
Okay, salute to you, my brother. Mimi ni Gro LD, even though mimi ni Mjaka.
Huko, nilisikia mnasema we're going to support our fellow Nilots.
Yes. Wapi. Not this one. I love Nilots, but this one here, ako peke yake.
Tribalism.
That's not tribalism. I love Bantu people as well. I love all people. Come on. Except Arabs, no.
Atticus.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Please, I'm sorry.
I know you. Leo tumekushika roho kidogo. Haya, endelea Kip.
You don't understand Kenya rebel. Rebel nitakuwa mbaya sana leo. I'm going to be tribal leo. Wajaluo na Wakalenjin wana ujinga ya mtu yetu. Most dumbest thing I've ever seen. We're all stupid.
I support you 100%.
Mtu yetu sasa wameshikana mkono na walikuwa wanatukanana hapo kwa TV. It just becomes something for our entertainment on TV. Ati the Kikuyus we are going to go and do revenge on them. Yet we are all suffering together. See kama ile unga ya Nyanza, the price of unga in Nyanza is the same as the price of unga in Central. Until we have to make you love Ruto now because you denied us Raila. Ujinga mingi. Huh? I've just seen that happening a lot with my people from the Nilots, from Nyanza. Na najua hiyo ni utoto mwingi sana. We've been hoodwinked by that conman called Raila Amolo Odinga. Kwanza anaenda sijui debate for a very stupid position called MC.
Yeah.
Did you know that Martha Koome was a commissioner? Martha Koome was a commissioner for African Union. I'm not talking about chair lady. No, I'm not talking about chair lady. She was part of the commission. That means that's how useless that chair is. You kitu as you at another debate is landed in
Yeah, it means nothing.
Baba atakaa siku
You're
mbili.
correct. Yeah.
At a land hapo. On Friday we're going to have a debate. Debate for what? Debate to present it to the wananchi, ama if the decision is being made by heads of states, why do we need to hear a debate? If we're not going to be involved in that election, why should we hear a debate of three fools going to tell us that they want to have a prestigious seat that is just like monarch? Hakuna kitu kwa hiyo kitu, ni ujinga hiyo. That is garbage. Keke, the ninja has bought has paid some NYS youths and a few wazee wa miji wakuje huko kwenda kwa hiyo siku ya Jamhuri, so that he can get his clubs and
populate,
like
fake crowd, fake crowd, hired crowd.
Very hired.
Where is the venue? Where is the venue?
Yeah, where is it going to be?
Kasarani.
What county?
Kasarani. Not sure.
Nairobi County.
No, wait. There's a girl who told me that today.
If he's doing it in Nairobi, he feels secure. That's
Uhuru Gardens.
Uhuru Gardens.
He feels secure then. He feels secure because the other one, he went outside Nairobi, the other holiday. So sorry, Kip. But just to add on to what you're saying, he went outside Nairobi.
So, fala wenu acha ende huko. He gets his clubs. He has just come to met with his bishops from Central because he misses going to get clubs from Central every Sunday to come and sit akuja tuambie mauongo hapo kwa Pilput. So wamelipwa ndio akuje sasa. We were talking about that in Jeru's channel just a couple of hours ago, that it is just ridiculous now, and most of those
that's true,
bishops are from Central.
He can't go to Sagana. You're right.
So now it is so sad, like and this is something I'm just still trying to get my head around it, Rebel, is kwani hiyo treasury bill ni, I know that mnafaa kulipa na 222 M-Pesa na kila kitu, lakini kwani hiyo treasury ni personal bank ya Ruto? Because I just hear him throwing numbers. I have removed 500 million for the Grammys. I have removed 100 million for femicide. Like,
where's the law?
Hata ijafika kwa parliament, lakini anaongeanga tu pesa yenye anatoa kutoka treasury. And I don't know how he's able to get away with that and even publicly tell us that he withdraws money and spends the way he feels like at a whims without even discussing with our elected representatives, although they're stupid.
Buddha, they call it discretionary spending.
Una spend two pesa. And finally, just towards I know the way ulifanya mistake kufanya hii topic leo ikuwa general. Finally, hii kitu kama tunaenda maandamano, tuache ujinga na tuache utoto. We are not going to follow the Raila Amolo Odinga blueprint of going to maandamano that is scheduled.
Agreed.
We go straight continuously for days, just the way we're doing the maandamano on social media, making them irritated. That is how it's supposed to be on the street. Kila siku tunaenda kwa kwa maandamano, because I don't see anybody resting on spewing a lot of truths on social media. We should do the same when we're going to the streets. We don't say, oh, we're going on Tuesday, then we come back on Thursday. No. Femicide should have just continued. How can you call it 16 days of maandamano or 24 hours of siju what, or giving threats? Kenyans, if you want to overthrow this government, you have to go straight. And please do not worry about who's coming in next. We are beyond that now. We are beyond that.
All right.
UK has prime ministers like underwear. We switch those guys like nonsense. We switch those guys like a nonsense. So we can do that in Kenya. Sorry?
Kim, uenda uambie na marafiki zako pia wawache kama wanataka kufanya wanataka kufanya siasa waende wafanye huko AU na baba yao. Mimi nimemaliza.
Okay. So
Okay.
just finally, I've just seen that comment. Shida watu wako broke, and you'll continue to be broke. Continue to be broke. Yes. Mutaka broke. That is the only medicine. Yes.
Waendelee kuwa broke kwa sababu kichwa bado watu wamelala maskioni.
Hawaelewi vile kusupport hii kitu ndio inapea kuwe broke.
Continue being broke. Mimi sinaanza kupembeleza watu. Ati sasa again, hii tabia ya kuchanga pesa ya kwenda maandamano. I have never seen that in Syria. I never saw that in Bangladesh. I never saw that in Sri Lanka. Ati broke. Ati extra cash to go for Christmas. Nyinyi mnakuanga na utoto wa Kenya. Mkae na Ruto wetu. Stay with your Ruto if you don't want to go fight for your own rights.
But
wacha tupate nafasi.
Ujinga fulani bro. This is why I said what I said. Kuna ujinga fulani hapo ndani bro.
Okay. Wacha tusikie nani basi. Wangira maybe might be having a different perspective or might join you in your view kwa watu wako na ujinga. I don't know. Leo mimi nitakuwa tu moderator, nitasikia tu mtoe kwa kifua.
Ataona maajabu.
Wacha niwaambie one thing people. Wacha tuongee kama dialogue, isikuwe kama soliloquy ama monologue. Tuongee back and forth. That's all I'm requesting.
Okay, I'm for that. As long as
interruption. Saa zingine mtu anaweza kuwa na swali, you know?
So, yeah, and I'll let it roll. Kwa sababu hata niko nimeshikana hapa kidogo hapa mini Wangira, go ahead.
Ask your questions, people.
Okay, thank you. You know, as much as we want to run away from the issue, you know, poverty is a key factor on why, you know, politicians, you know, are behaving in the manner that they are behaving. You know, it's said that, you know, it's easier to rule people who are poor. It's very, very easy to rule people who are poor. I remember, you know, 2 or 3 weeks ago saying here, you know, a story that I heard, you know, that although internet has disputed it, that, you know, Mussolini, you know, one time took, you know, a chicken and he decided to pluck off painfully one feather after the other. And, you know, the chicken, you know, was bleeding. But, you know, after ensuring that, you know, every feather was out of that chicken, you know, he placed it down and threw to it, you know, a few grains. You know, I hope it could have been millet or it could have been wheat, you know. He decided to throw it to the chicken. And, you know, mark you, the chicken ran, you know, to go and eat, you know, the grains that was thrown at it. And, you know, that's the reality of life, that, you know, so long as, you know, a person, you know, who is poor has no dignity. A poor person has no dignity. And, you know, what Kenyan politicians are doing is, you know, to exploit the poverty of majority of the Kenyan people. And that's the reality. As much as, you know, some of us here want to run away from it, but it's true. Look at the goons. Today, let me give you a story. I have a younger brother of mine, my immediate younger brother. whenever he's in the village, this guy, has an entire team of around 30, 40 people following him around at any given time. And it's because he can afford giving them 100, 200 shillings. My immediate younger brother, whenever he's in the village, 30, 40 people will be following him around every day because he can afford giving them 200 shillings, 100 shillings. That is, where poverty, has taken the people of Kenya. They don't have dignity, anything that can give them a coin in the pocket, they'll go for it. They'll go for it.
Wangera, with the utmost respect to what you've just said.
The poverty you cannot say. No one is poor. The mentality of someone makes him
very much, Melchizedek. Thank you. Mentality.
You don't say that power. You don't say that the people of Kenya is poor. We are not poor. We have the mentality of become poor.
Yes. We're actually richer than most Western Europeans, for
but,
example.
But where does that mentality come from? Where does that mentality come from? If you grow up in somewhere where...
stupidity I was talking about, my brother, because not all Kenyans are stupid. Not all Kenyans
are stupid.
We're all here.
We are running away. We are running away from a real issue. A country can be rich, but how is that wealth translated to an ordinary person? Majority of Kenyans are living under $2 a day, and that's the reality. Majority of people are living under $2 a day, and that's why they are ready to go for anything. And if you want to know that is true, wait for a lorry that is transporting, let us say, bread, to overturn, and you see how people would scramble for those crates of bread.
Okay,
just look at
let
it.
me just say this really quick, my brother. I'm sorry. Just what you just said. Very quickly. I would argue Melchizedek's argument is the most accurate position because it is a mentality. Here's the thing. Most of these villagers don't understand that the system that they live under, this system of capital, this system of credit, they don't understand and they don't want to understand. Better the way they've always been. They want to be the way they've always been instead of saying, what is this system I live under? This piece of paper I'm holding in my hand called money, what is it? A lot of them don't ask these questions. Basic things that they could do for themselves, especially in the rural areas. In fact, you see it in towns as well. They don't do for themselves. I am someone who's lived half my life in Kenya, half my life in the UK. When I go home in Kenya, I walk around and I see, why haven't you just done this simple thing yourselves? It's like they're waiting for someone to do it for them. So Melchizedek's argument, I would lean more towards it's a mindset. Because there are countries around the world that have a similar GDP to Kenya. But when you look at their rural areas, they don't look as dilapidated as Kenya does. When you look at the basic things, they have drainage. Why don't we have drainage? Who are we waiting for? Jesus. Basic things.
Let me say this. Let me say this, then I'll allow somebody else perhaps to come in because
No, thank you, my brother, for allowing that. Thank you.
The studio is becoming full, so I just want to use 1 minute. That's what we call, a conducive environment. Any state or any government within a state, has an obligation to create a conducive environment for its people to thrive. For example, you are saying you are in the UK. The UK government has created a conducive environment for people there to thrive. Is it the same case in Kenya? Those are the questions that we should be asking.
Why, sir?
They were poor too. Hold on. The UK used to live in a place of lords and ladies, and the people revolted against that nonsense. The people fought themselves out of poverty. It did not just happen like that. The people resisted
revolution
and stopped it, and they stopped it. They stopped this oppression from what you call landlords, what you call ladies, what you call all this garbage. It's because it came through the people.
They fought.
So you cannot have that as an excuse saying that
Thank you, Kip.
the West magically became what it is today.
Exactly. They fought
like that. They fought
against
for it.
their own. Tell them again, please.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm okay, go ahead. I wanted to renew Wangira's point, but
I respect Wangira kabisa. Let it be known. This is not.
No,
a
this is a good. It's a good.
It's
a good conversation. It's a good conversation. I'm saying this because I see what both of you are saying. I think the reason why I kind of tend to go with Wangira's reasoning is this. Okay, I don't. To be fair, I don't know much about the history of UK, but in the US, if you look at how they, created the Constitution, these were a bunch of rich folks who came from England. Okay, they owned land and slaves. They were not poor, and they came up with this. They didn't have the black people in mind. They didn't have the Indians in mind. They had themselves and their kids in mind when they were making that constitution. That's why they said, okay, we are considered equals or whatever the case is. So what I'm saying is this, the core point I'm trying to make is this. The disparity between poor and rich in Kenya is huge. If you grow up in the village, growing up, to me, when I grew up, hold on, I used to see Moi as this person next to God. Not that's, because he's a saint or whatever, but that's someone you cannot challenge.
Larger than life figure.
There you go. Very good point. So, okay, the Railas and whatever. So Raila, when he comes mtaani, Raila Turingenye, whatever the case is. So when he comes and tells us, you're poor because this president is a Kalenjin and he has a lot of money and he's not throwing some money my way or your way, that's why you're poor. I'll believe him because I don't know any better. I don't have enough education. I'm not exposed. I don't know how the system works, as you've said. So I'm believing him because he seems to be this big man coming from our community, for example. So whatever he says, I will cling on it. Akisema Moi ni mbaya, yes. Akisema Ruto ni mzuri. So yes, to us who have been exposed and we understand, we see the full picture, we can say that is stupidity. But to them who are in the village, who grew up looking at these folks like this, not being exposed, poor, living in abject poverty, okay? That's why you see they fall into this nonsense. But that's why I'm saying, ukiangalia hata vizuri this Gen Z, these are college kids with internet ambao have been exposed. They know what's going on. They know about what's happening with this Neo. So they're not falling for that nonsense. That's why you see they're so effective. Yeah, wamechanuka. But bado the majority ambao wako huko mashinani huko, they're still falling for this. So I won't say... Yeah, hata hao pia wanachanuka, but I'm just saying...
Kenya Rebel.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about something small before you go ahead. About the poverty that we are talking about. There is something that we don't understand in life. Even I can be young or I can be old or I can be whatever, but what is called the knowledge or the wisdom that someone has is enough for him to remove what is called the poverty that you are talking about. For example, let's say that you have a land there at home where he's sleeping. There is nothing he's doing in that land. But someone who is not even understand what education is, amepalilia, ameweka nini mboga yake, ikifika jioni anaenda kuuza. Unaona? Pesa yake. I want you to understand what I'm trying to bring up.
Productivity.
When the time comes now, mtu wa siasa amekuja kwamba anapeana watu pesa. Na wewe ulishachukua pesa yako, wewe umejua ya kwamba ikifika jioni mimi nitauza nini yangu nikuwe na pesa yangu. Where will this poverty comes when you have that mentality? And that mentality that I'm talking about, we don't have as Kenyans because we rely on maneno kwamba Kenya Rebel akifika atanipea kitu kidogo.
Can I say just something?
Another thing, bado kama
Just one
sijamaliza.
thing. Just one thing, then you come in. Just one point.
Go ahead.
You know, I've talked about, a conducive environment, that must be created. For example, today in Molo, today as I speak today in Molo, farmers in Molo have grown cabbage, but there seems to be no market for the cabbage in Molo. Not even the cows in Molo today are eating cabbage. And farmers have gone to the farm, they have done their level best, but there's no market for the commodity. Then how can you blame such a person who has done his level best, but the environment in which he lives is not conducive for him to thrive?
Okay, who is supposed to create that conducive environment? Is it you or the government itself, the person that is giving you hard time?
Somebody
The government
standing in
should
your
promote
way,
that.
namely the government. Yeah, the government is standing in your way because you can do it on your own. Shida ni kuna mtu anakuja kwa shamba yako anakuambia tax. Hiyo ndio shida. If there was no obstacle, namely government, people would be better off. You could trade with who you want to, make agreements with who you want to. So I agree with Melchizedek.
And when we are looking, someone talk about the UK, someone is talking about the US, somebody is talking about Golgotha, someone is talking about Kenya. Okay? At the end of the day, the power is in the hand of who? Is it the government or the people?
The people.
The people.
The voice
people.
of God.
Right? When the power is the hand of the people, does it mean that if you have power on your hand, you cannot do anything? You are waiting for someone to tell you this is the right thing.
Amen, brother.
Amen, brother.
No, but the people, in order to exercise that sovereign power, authority they have to galvanize and see things the same way as the
Then
government
galvanize.
being in
What
their
are you
way.
waiting for? Go ahead and do it.
What are they waiting for?
Kenya Rebel, let me tell you something.
Hold on. Okay.
Today, let's say today, we just wake up in the morning and say now, today no bus is going on the way, on the road, and all people are there. Do you think buses zitaenda kwa barabara?
Hazitaenda, lakini saizi nikikuuliza wewe na nani utafanya hivyo? That's what I'm asking.
Kama buses hawezi enda kwa barabara, why not doing the same thing to the someone who is disturbing and disintegrate everything that is taking place? Why?
So you are coming to my point because ndio maana unaona Ruto analeta hii maneno ati okay, watu wa Mulima, watu wa Nyanza, watu wa Rift Valley, so that when people tuseme ati watu wa Nairobi wakisema ati haya mabasi zisisonge, whatever the case you're advocating, no. Watu wa Mlima watasema hiyo ni historia yenu, watu wa Nyanza watasema hiyo ni historia yenu. You see what I'm saying? That's where the tribal politics plays in, and that's the point we are making. They are using the tribal stuff to fight.
Let me just say one or two things. Government is not supposed to be complicated. Governance is not supposed to be complicated. It's supposed to be something that everybody can understand. But if you look at the environment in which we are operating in Kenya, they have everything is being made complicated. And the reason why they are making everything complicated is for what I call organized confusion that can enable them especially to loot, what I call corruption. For countries that where countries have been successful, and that's why I have difficulties in blaming an ordinary Kenyan, especially me as a person who lives in this country. I have a lot of trouble blaming an ordinary Kenyan because I know what an ordinary Kenyan goes through and how much it tries. But this is where the issue is. Those countries that have succeeded to improve the welfare of their own people, they have what we call predictable policy framework. You know, their policy frameworks are very predictable. Unlike what we are seeing in Kenya here, you realize, you know, that they dwell on what we call the rule of law. In Kenya, do you see the rule of law today? You discover that they have what we call strong incentives, you know, for their people. You discover that, you know, they have what we call reliance on the market. Then you discover that, you know, they have a clearly limited role of government. But, you know, that's not what is happening in the Republic of Kenya today. So, you know, if you are, for example, a maize farmer today in this country, my brother Kipi has gone, he told me that he grew up in Uasin Gishu. I also grew up in Uasin Gishu. My father was a farmer there. Today, without strong incentives, you know, without a reliable market, you know, a maize farmer in Uasin Gishu, you know, works so hard in the farm, and he produces, you know, a number of bags of maize. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you discover that there's no market for him. There was to begin with, there were no strong incentives for him. Then at the end of the day, after producing the crop, there's no reliable market for him. So, you know, how can I blame such an ordinary individual with what it's trying, you know, his level best, but, you know, the environment in which he's operating in is not conducive enough?
I can tell you how. Because that individual and the other individuals around him are doing nothing towards changing that. They know that the entity that stands in their way and prosperity is that thing we call government. You understand? But a lot of those so-called individuals will willfully support that so-called government. Why? Because it seems like they're stepping on somebody else that you may have a personal prejudice against. For example, silliness like that. Just because Uhuru is in power, it's okay to kill Luos. Just as an example, not everybody thought like this, but you know, Wangira, there are people who did think like this. Just because Ruto is in power, it's okay to step on Kikuyus. You know, not everybody thinks like this. But you know, there are people in this country we call our motherland that are okay with that. Just because Ruto is there and is stepping on Kikuyus, you know, Luos, just keep quiet. You know, all Luos do not think like this. You, me, Melchizedek, we do not think like this. Kenya Rebo, others, we do not think like that. But you know there are Luos that do. This is the stupidity I am addressing. I'm not saying every Kenyan is stupid. I am not speaking in absolutes. But you know, deep in your heart, you know, there are people amongst us, be they family members or otherwise, that subscribe to that nonsense. And that's the problem. What we're witnessing right now is this demographic change. These young people have shocked everybody. Nobody tried this with Kenyatta One. Nobody tried it with Moi. What we've seen happen, no generation in Kenya has ever done, apart from that generation that fought the British. It was not only the Mau Mau, even the Kipsigis. The Kipsigis fought an 11-year war of resistance. Chief Odero Kango of Luoland is the one that said that when the British came and said, we're seizing your cows, and he said no. And the British asked him, says who? And he said, Pinyo Wacho. The world has spoken. The ground has spoken. That's who said. No generation since that one has done it, since these young people here.
Another thing I want to add there, if you allow me.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Wacha tuseme itoke. Imeandikwa kwa Biblia. I'm sorry to say this because we are Luos. And when it comes in terms of become realistic, that's where we brag and we think that tumefika. Kwa sababu we are only one person that have orders in the state, in the cavity, like the so-called Raila, that Baba amesema. That issue has made laws to go nowhere, and bado waumiza kwa sababu vile wamechukua vitu zao, bado wata remain the same position where they are because of such kind of mentality. Hiyo imekuja kwa Wakikuyu, the same thing. Imeenda kwa Wakalenjin, the same thing. So all these things that are taking place, we are saying we are poor, but we are not because of what is taking place. Tuliambiwa tuko na masikio lakini hatusikii.
Kabisa.
Tumeona lakini ni kama tuko wapofu wa watu we don't see. But we are seeing things are happening. So even if I say anything bad that makes someone to run away or whatever, the truth has to be told. Kenyans, we have everything that takes, or it's have everything that make Kenya to be Kenya. Even people are talking about Kenya outside here, but we don't see them. People are seeing them. So when it comes in terms of poverty, we are not poor. We only have what is called stupidity. Hiyo ndio inatuumiza na inaitwa hiyo tribalism. Hiyo ndio tunaumiza. Then the government itself, tunachagua kwa sababu Kenya Rebel ni mtu wangu, sasa wacha niende nimchague, lakini hatujaangalia ataleta nini akikuwa kwa hiyo kiti. Unaona? So imefika mpaka wale ambayo watu unasema ni wazazi wetu ambao inafaa tupewe maelekezo vizuri, wao wanangoja pesa wakule walale na kesho maisha inaendelea, but they don't think that they are destroying the generation that are coming because of their sin that they made from the beginning. Nimesema imetoka. Mtu mwenye ako na maneno akuje anishika anipeleke kwa Ruto, tunapigana huko. Asante.
Melchizedek huko Golgotha tutakutafuta. Wewe tutakupeleka kwa Faruk.
Hata na dawa. Mimi naweza toka na nikuje kama mwamjui nishafika.
Anyway.
Buddha.
I want to give you a small story before I stop.
Uh-huh.
My dad used to tell me one thing, that if you want to be a poor man, saying every now and then I'm poor, you will be the poorest ever. But when you work hard and you think about your future, you will never lack. And the mentality that Kenya have, hata mtu mwenye ako na shamba eka 12 ama nini anasema I'm poor. You are poor and you have a lot of something that you can produce. We don't have that. We don't have even think about that one. So my dad taught me, aliniweka mimi, nilikuwa nimejifunza shule. I was going to school nikiuza kuku ya Ruto, ambayo Ruto sasa ni president. Even mimi siku moja nitakuwa president kwa sababu nilikuwa nauza kuku. So anytime someone is talking about the poor, hiyo kitu inachukia kwa roho yangu yote. Kwa sababu gani? No one born poor. You are the one who is making yourself to be poor. Kama uko na maneno kuja nikwambie.
Aya, Atticus, you sing and we pour. Hebu wekeni maneno yenu ndio mimi niende nika take care of mtoto.
Sasa wewe unataka kwenda offline sasa when things get real. Okay.
Usinyinyi naona mnakatiana kwa comment section huko. Mimi niko na mtoto.
Mtoto gani? Tangu lini?
Haki ya Mungu wewe. Wewe achana na watu
mtu wa Golgotha
wazima.
huko.
Achana na watu wazima.
Kenya ribe.
Unaona nani keke hata
Wewe
hataki
acha
kuingia
sisi
kwa studio
tuongee
kwa
hapa
sababu
hivi.
Unajua haujawahi jua nikikasirika naongeanga mingi.
Of course.
You can't come and tell us that Kenyans are poor. In which way? Huh? In which way? Na unakula mpaka mapera. Wewe kwenda huko. Wewe kwenda. Sasa hapa tibia pua.
Lakini kesho nitafungua mapema. Sasa za lunchtime ya UK huko na huko Golgotha itakuwa saa ngapi?
Golgotha hapa saa 1.
Saa 1.
Hebu ngoja uko Israel.
Nani?
Melchizedek.
Mimi siwezi sema penye niko bwana. Sasa mimi
Kidero namtafuta.
Watu wanatafuta mbaya. Sasa I cannot tell you where I am unless otherwise.
It can't be Syria.
Mimi niko unajua penye Yesu alisulubishwa.
Israel ama?
Bas, huko ndio niko. Karibu na Golgotha, Kapernaum. Unajua hapo kwa Kapernaum hapo. Kwa mama mboga. Hapo ndio niko.
Umeenda mbali.
Kaparangoa.
Kapernaum. Nothing is in this.
Come home. Come home.
Never. Once in a while.
Okay. Mtafute na nini? Kuna ndugu yangu amepotea anaitwa Captain. Mmeshamuona mali?
Nani?
Captain.
By the way, Captain ameenda wapi?
Niko na wasiwasi. Sijui Faruk alimshika. Niko na wasiwasi sana.
Unajua watu wengine lakini hawajashika nini vizuri. You have to stand firm before you come here and talk. Because I know no one will find me here. Even you walk a mile, you will never find me.
Mi walishanipata wakajua niko wapi, ninio yangu kompyuta wakaingia. Lakini nacheza ninio inaitwa counter attack. Hawajui.
Mimi ukinipata wewe pia ni mwanaume.
Mimi nangoja tu wafanye kitu moja. Serikali inakuja kuwachukua.
Last time they call me, where are you? I tell them I'm in Kapernaum. How may I help you? Walikata simu wakasema huyu jamaa hapa. We cannot find this guy.
Mnitafutie Captain jamani. Captain, I'm worried. Sijamuona for a while. I don't know if he's doing well. Hata simu yake kupiga unasikia mteja amepotea.
Wacha nikupee siri, download kitu inaitwa 360. Hiyo hata ukipiga simu nyumbani watu wanajua wewe uko tu hapa kwa kina Ruto hapa, lakini penye huko Mungu ndiye anajua. That's what
Kapernaum.
Hapa niko tu Kapernaum hapa. Anyway. Unajua fee ya babangu hakuenda bure. I do it the way he taught me. Na yeye anajua vizuri penye mtoto wangu wako, hakuna mtu anaweza kuja kumguza unless otherwise.
Sawa. Mimi nimejipanga. Wakinijaribu. Ushasikia Bundaroka? Umejua Bundaroka?
Bas, ile ya kusu. Hiyo ndio niko nayo iko kwa chini ya kitanda. Hiyo ndio inalala. Alafu unataka kuja hapo kutuambia we Kenyans we are very poor.
Order.
No. Kenya Rebel, I will never accept that. Even if you say we are poor, then you are mad.
We're richer than most
Not
people
poor
in
in
the
the sense
world
that you're
because
saying, but
no, we're richer than
anyway,
most
You
people
say
in the
we are,
world.
just say we are fake. Just say we are fake, but we are not poor. We
We're
are
not
fake.
poor. No, we own land alone. We're richer
If
than most
if
people in the world.
a Luo man can land, he's not even
you
travel.
know,
How poor is
you know
Kenya?
what I like about, Nani Ibrahim Traore alisema.
Ah.
He said, why do they say we are poor while when we ask them to leave, they don't leave?
Very
There you
good.
go.
And you know what they did today? Uliona hiyo picture? In fact, before I funga, let me show you this picture. I was so inspired. They are doing amazing things in Burkina Faso. They produced the first gold whatever in Burkina Faso. Let me show you very quickly what an African country can actually achieve. Wakininio. Ndio hii, wacha nikuonyeshe. Hold on, ndio hii. So quick whatever before. Poleni nimetoa kamera. Kadua no wewe. Just to give it context, those are the first gold bars that have been processed in Burkina Faso, because the French used to mine that gold and take it and process it in France, alafu wanauzia back, because wanasema we process it, so
imagine. Then unapata ya kwamba we are the people producing the coffee and the tea. Then we are the people getting the inakuwa mpaka unashindwa sasa hili.
How are we allowing this?
So
nobody's forcing us.
Ndio maana nasema the tea that we produce in, let's say, Murima, that is enough to create millionaires there. The salmon that is being produced in Mombasa, off the coast of Mombasa.
Very quick, Melchizedek, uko na headphones?
Yeah.
Melchizedek
sijui alienda kwa ninio.
Rebel,
Melchizedek wewe. No, I'm saying
hapana, kuna kitu nimefungua sasa.
Okay.
Juu kuna mtu anajaribu kunifanyia ile kitu. So hawezi kunipata sasa.
Ebu mute. Okay, good.
Yeah, thanks.
Nasema, for example, the tea coffee that's being produced in Kericho, Central Province, that's enough to create a bunch of millionaires, if not billionaires, in Central Province. The salmon, did you know, that's kumbuka unaona, you heard about the ninio? Okay, Mtata trying to sue Joho over the salmon production of the coast of East Africa, of our shores. It's the number one in the whole world.
So salmon. It's
tuna. Tuna, thank you, not salmon. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Tuna, not salmon. Thank you for
salmon is a river fish, and it survives in cold rivers. Like ukipeleka Limuru, somehow you can make money. But in the coast, it's tuna.
Yes. Thank you for the correction. Yes, tuna. Yes, but tuna is also just as Ninio, not as Ninio, but it's just as famous. So that's what I'm talking about.
One fish is 18 to 20,000 US dollars. Unaongea nini? Yo samaki
what
moja,
fish?
My brother. Tuna.
Samaki gani?
Tuna. It's big. Inakuanga na red flesh.
Yeah. I know tuna.
20 grand.
But what I'm saying is this.
Jeez.
So imagine how much money that can not only bring to the state, the Republic of Kenya, and also help the fishermen in Ninio, in Iso Coastal, whatever, and
Uhuru
revolutionize
gave it to the
the
Chinese.
economy
Did you know
of
that?
Huh?
Uhuru gave those rights to the Chinese. That's why they're off the coast of East Africa.
Yeah, even the fight. Kwani unafikiri
Sad
Somalia? Why is
kabisa.
Somalia? Why is Somalia ninio? Why is Somalia the way it is?
Yeah.
Oh, so you know
kabisa.
I'm preaching to the choir.
It's not even just the natural gas, because there's natural gas offshore Somalia. It's also the tuna.
Thank you, but the fishing thing was the biggest one. Ndio maana au mafishermen ndio walikuwa na nio. Nyathini chibra. The fishermen
okay,
au ndio walikuwa na ninio
wakaanza kuteka chini na sisi tuongee. She'll relax, don't worry.
Na nasema ndio maana hao mafishermen walikuwa na nini wana abduct hizo ma ships zilikuwa zinapita hapo ninio hapo Somali because of that. Those were fishermen. Those are not terrorists, as we are being told. I saw the news. I mean, I watched a documentary on that. I was like, whoa, I didn't know this is what is going on. But
right.
Can I talk? All right, let me mute.
No. But Melchizedek, are you there?
When do you mute wewe?
I want Martin to just a little. Okay.
Ana uokadhi ni natoka ndio maana.
Maliza basi.
Si tafadhali.
Haya. Maliza basi ndio tumalize.
So each and every time tunaongea tunatuleta maneno mazuri kabisa. Watu wengine ndio wanakuja tukuharibia na siasa ya Ruto na wakina nani. Next time wakikuja hapo waambie waende kwa yule jamaa wa kanisa, waende waombe huko. Sisi hatutaki mtu mwenye ana preach water na ana drink wine. No. We are here to say the fact, to help Kenyans so that we can grow together. Because you never know. We let us be brother's keeper. That's what he's saying to each and every person. Tusikue kama David ambaye alikuwa ameona Auria ako na nini mazuri alafu akanyang'anya ndugu yake. Mimi nimemaliza.
Aya, nani kama Atticus malizia na mimi malizie.
I'm just saying I wish it would just last longer, so we just keep talking. It's good. We just started, you know.
Lakini wewe Atticus unaingianga once in a blue moon. That's the beef I have with you. I come here 10 days in a row.
Work unscheduled. You just pop in and pop out the way you want.
That's true. So unajua schedule ukipata mtoto is different. Paka udil na minot. Paka udil na minot na siasa ya jikoni.
Sawa. I mean, uko
nyumbani. Unajua ni bachelor, you can do whatever you want. Ndio maana mnasumbua hapa
but the logic
beautiful sister.
Uko nyumbani, anajua penye uko, anaona unafanya kazi. Boy ama huyo mtoi anaweza kuja.
Mimi Atticus, wacha nikwambie, in my heydays when I was your age, nilikuanga
how old are you,
Ronaldo? So siku hizi nimewekwa policeman.
That's a story. Kwani how old are you at when I was your age? Mimi nikwambia niko
38. Usijali.
You unaongea ati when I was your age. Mimi sio kaboy. Boss, we've been paying taxes all these years and it hurts. Akia Mungu, it hurts. 40%.
Thank you. Chief Negus anakuambia niko daddy duty, wewe uelewi. Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Keke bado mko
Wewe ongea tu vibaya hapo Kenya Ribe.
Rembulie kapas.
Nitakuja na kisu. Ongea tu vibaya.
Chief Negus, this is what I was saying. It's like, Sisi, we are these hard-working bachelors. It's time for us to settle down. But to do that, the duty in because I promise I could do it so efficient.
Mi vile nilikuwa bachelor, kidogo hata niwe Ruto. Lakini sasa
Akia Mungu. Lakini imagine, jamana, hii pesa inaibiwa. Tungepea mabibi zetu or something. Hii ndio inanikasirisha kabisa. Like, my girl could be better off, but this guy is just stealing. Like, si
ndio sasa tunataka kutengeneza nchi. tutatengeneza inchi one by polepole to polepole to polepole. But anyway, I'm so glad to see. It's been like, I don't know,
Thank you,
4
bro.
days. See, I haven't seen you guys for a while. Atticus, Chief Negus, KK, Golgotha Man, Melchizedek mwenyewe, Wangira pia, Kip.
Wacha kuniharibia jina, mimi nakuja hapa kala siku bwana. Wacha kuniharibia. Unaniribia jina aje? Hata kama mimi ni Gen Z, wacha kuniharibia jina. By the way, sahii mimi niko siku natafuta. Niliwachwe kwa sababu mimi ni mtu wa siasa. Habari zenu?
Slay Queen sasa.
Ai, jamani, mimi nitafungua dating show ya wanasiasa kwa sababu mnaona there's a lot of wanasiasa committed to the cause.
Kenya ni kubaya lakini. I thought Kenya was good, my bro. Lakini Kenya ni kubaya. Sahi.
Oh yeah, it's getting ridiculous. Mimi vile nilisikia hiyo mambo ya Mbadi, I was like, okay, this is now he's really crossing the line.
Ni kama kila mtu anatafuta tu kitu.
I was there last week. I was there last month. Niliona maajabu ya Musa Maribobi. Ushaona hii? Karibu na Farauni huko. Niliona maajabu. Sirudi Kenya mpaka 2027.
Huko kapa Neru.
Hey, Saitan. Ile ngonga. Mimi niende nilale. Kesho ni siku.
Akili kumbaya cha Mungu. Kenya Rebo Kolaki wole pata wako. You can lock down. Ni kubaya Kenya cha Mungu. Anywhere in the world. Ni kubaya.
Yeah, it's like that. Ni hivyo tu. But anyway, guys, wait, Dani Atticus, usipotee hivyo. Kesho nitakuja mapema. I know I don't expect you mapema because maybe utakuwa job. But I'll have like a double session. Nitakuja very early. I'll come in twice tomorrow, then Friday pia nitakuja twice because I know Friday kuna hiyo debate ya Raila. I want to listen to the kind of bullshit he'll be selling Africa. Alafu,
Nico,
yeah.
I work from home.
I mean, whether you're in comment section hapo ukiingia, no pressure. I appreciate your presence.
No worries, my brother. You take care of yourself. Thank you again for this program, yeah?
No problem. Anytime. Asanteni sana. Also, everyone in the comment section, KK, Chief Negus, Atticus who was here, Melchizedek, Wangira, Kip who stopped by, and everyone who's secretly watching and is not subscribed and hasn't shared and doesn't like the video. Go ahead and like, share, comment, and all that good stuff.
Thank you all.
Anyway.
Thank you, Kenya Rebel.
Thank you. Peace and blessings. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Put your notification on. I'll be in tomorrow early in the morning. I'm out. Peace.